Hello everyone, we're going to go over how to use Quizlets in your courses. Quizlet is a free resource that allows anyone to create a study set on any topic. This is a great tool that allows students to assess their own knowledge through different types of interactive activities. First, you go to Quizlet.com and sign up for a free account. You'll see a login button in the upper right hand corner. As you can see, I've already created an account. And this is where I'll be able to start creating my lessons. Once you have logged in, you can begin crafting flashcard activities. This is where most instructors start creating their first lessons, and then you can build more lessons from there. You can create as many flashcards as you like. Before we get started on our first lesson, you may want to create a class to associate your lesson with, or create a folder. I'm going to go ahead and create a folder. The lesson we're going to work with today is going to be related to the topic of medical terminology. You can also enter a description for your folder, but I'm going to go ahead and just call this medical terminology. When you first log into Quizlet, your dashboard is going to be blank, but as you can see, I already have a couple classes started, and now I just created a medical terminology folder. Let's begin creating flashcards, and we can do that by selecting this Create button at the top. Notice you'll have one side of the card here for the term and the other side of the card for the pending definition. In this case, we're working on medical terminology, so I've already typed ahead for pectoral for terminology and chest for the definition. And I created a total of 5 terms and their corresponding definitions. You can add an image here. And what's nice about Quizlet is it will actually give you suggestions for both terms and images. You can turn this off, but it's pretty accurate and helpful. So I went ahead and chose one of the images that was suggested by Quizlet. You can also select your own voice recording, but this comes with an extra fee. I just go ahead and use the voice that already comes with Quizlet. That's free and it's very understandable. Another option you might notice is that you can change the language. Here you can also select Spanish, and you can also search for other languages. Many foreign language instructors use Quizlets. They can be very helpful for learning different types of languages. Now that we have created a basic flashcard set, I want to finalize this by selecting the Create button. Notice it gives me a link. This is a link I could share with my students. I also want to use this in my course development template, and I'm going to show you some other ways of how to communicate your lessons that you've created within that course development template. You can also share on social media if this is something that you use with your students. Or I can add it to a class or folder. As you'll remember, I've already created a folder for this particular lesson, and that was a medical terminology folder, and this is where I will associate this lesson. Now that I have created my first flashcard lesson, you will notice that there are a number of options to study the material. Students can study the material as simple flashcards, as shown here. You click the card to flip it, and it will show you the definition. You can scroll through the cards by selecting the arrow below. If you select Learn, it's like a multiple choice question. Students can select the correct answer here. And this provides a nice additional way for students to learn about the material. If they select the wrong answer, the correct answer is given, and it shows what the student did wrong and what the correct answer should be. The right option allows students to write in the answer, very much like a fill in the blank. One of the nicest options is the test option, which uses multiple choice, fill in the blank, matching. So here students get a variety of different types of questions all in one place. We'll go back to the spell option. Here students simply type what they hear.
Superior.
This is also great for instructors that teach foreign languages.
Pectoral.
The match is very similar to what we're used to with matching type of activities, only it's somewhat game-like. You simply take terms that belong together, such as chest and pectoral, or inferior and below. And it's timed, so students can compete with each other, or if they want to share times, or students can just try to get better and better. Gravity is an interesting interactive activity. This one is like a very simple gaming scenario. Here you have some options to make it easy, medium, or difficult. Answers can be based on terminology or definition. Let's keep it at random. So the term will fall down on the asteroid, and the student needs to type the answer at the bottom. That's associated with superior. If the student gets the answer wrong, let's type in inferior here. Then it'll keep going. Or if the student chooses not to answer and the asteroid just falls out of the screen, it still gives you the correct answer, but it needs you to actually type the answer in before it'll continue. So that's kind of an interesting, different type of gaming scenario that students can work with. The live is also a very interesting interactive activity. Students can engage in sort of a competitive environment as a team. I can't really demonstrate that here because I don't have a team of people to show how it works, but this is something you might want to play with students as a group. Now I want to show you how you can communicate the lessons that you have designed in the course development template and how this gets communicated to your students. There's a couple options that you have. You can come up here to the share link. Here you can get a link to your Quizlet. I suggest copying this and including this in your course development template, possibly along with the embed code as well. Embedding this activity within your course allows students to just immediately click on the activity, and it provides a nice visually appealing way to show your lessons. And you can do that by coming here and going down to embed. You copy this HTML code that's right here. If you just want to show for matching, you can select that. You can select learn. You get a slightly different HTML code. You want to copy that and put that within your course development template. So this is what it might look like in the course development template. This is an example where the course developer just selected the practice test and the flashcards, and he linked to it. This is hyperlinked. That's one way you can do it. You can also link like I showed you with the share area. You just copy that link. I also suggest providing both. This is very informative to the editors. You can embed the following Quizlet, and this is what it would look like with if you give them the embed code, they can embed it in your course, and students can work with it right there. What you'll notice with this drop down in this lower right hand corner, students can actually select the study mode that they want to work with, whether it's flashcards or matching or the gravity game. So they can have some options down here based on the embed code there. These are some options you can use to actually communicate your lessons with your students. I recommend practicing with this and creating some opportunities for your students to assess their own knowledge and seeing how they like it.